Alright, welcome to Mab Gaming. I think in the last episode I said my other channel, so I do apologize for that. Alright, we left off with a wood crisis. We are kind of trying to fix this a little bit. If I go through this, yes. So what 800, what could we do with 800 science? We could do a lot with 800 science, if I'm being perfectly honest. So we are going to basically do this and then hit demolish, and then I'm hoping we can do something to where we can reach that. If I have to add more, I will, but I'm thinking we can get this all right if obviously we have the appropriate toolage. But at this current point in time, most of our tools are most of our logs are going into this. We're almost done. We need about 10 more and then we will be done. Then it'll be the plank's turn, but hopefully once we get this done, then we're able to kind of not necessarily worry about the logs anymore, and then we should be getting these relatively soon, and that will definitely boost up everybody's overall happiness. Now what I am going to do while I am thinking about this is we are going to come in here and basically everything that doesn't have blueberries on it we are getting rid of, because I'm going to basically gut this area of blueberries. I'm trying to build up stuff over here so we can at least store them and it's not completely and totally useless, you know what I'm saying? I would like to at least be able to use that kind of stuff, but we might as well, while we have it, we use it, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the overall idea there. We are collecting logs up here. Like I said, a little bit worried as far as everything goes on this one, just because I don't know what these are going to do yet. And yeah, it's a growing concern. But I also want to get this one as well. Obviously it needs to be attached to some sort of staircase, and then we can do that like that, and then I'll build a pathway that way. So we have a couple of things being built. Obviously I have these being built. They need a couple of logs and a couple of planks, but as soon as we get those going, like, we'll be able to grow things down here. And we are going to fix this pathway because that just looks stupid, in my opinion. So we're going to get this going. Obviously it needs to have a pathway connecting it, but we can work with that a little bit. And then I'm going to come over here. We're going to build it anyway. Put it back right here, then flip that. And then I want to make sure that it is able to get everywhere. It is. All right, cool. And then, yeah, we'll have that. I'm going to put some lumberjack flags here, and then 2 should be enough to harvest this area. Actually, you know what, just in case, we'll put a 3rd just to be on the safe side. But yeah, then, and like I said, we're going to grow wheat here once those get kind of demolished. How many beavers we got? We got 4 in there, so we should be able to move pretty effectively. And then this will definitely help our tree population, because then I can put some birch in on this side, hoping that this does fill up the way we want it to. I'm going to pause this right now because we don't have power going to it. We still need about 7 more planks. So once that gets built, then we'll definitely go forth with that. And then obviously I did say this at the last in the other episode, once this gets built, I am going to delete these and we'll use this for the time being, and then put a power shaft to connect these 2 up. So then we have 2 planks, 1 gear workshop, and that should be should be perfect for the time being. I wouldn't see why that would be necessarily a problem. So we will definitely kind of be boosting that up. And then we're about to go back into a good tide, so I am going to unpause these guys, which will cause a little bit of a work deficit, just a little bitty one, but it is sort of needed at this current point in time to just make sure that we have what we need. And we are so close. All right. So let's get these guys going again so we can fill everything up, which gives us a 3-job deficit, which I would assume is going to be, I would assume it would be those, but you know, who knows at this point. I'll pause him. We don't need a whole lot of tree workers over here at this current point in time. We more or less need other things. I think we're over here. It would be nice to get that going, but I understand why we're not. It's far away. Oh, there we go. Now we're having turmoil. So this doesn't look to be a big bomb, but I am going to prioritize it to us building that so we can shut down whatever bad thing's going to happen there, just so we can protect our beavers and all of that. I need those can be paused. Not important at this current point in time, just because we don't have this guy yet and we don't have this guy yet. So those things are the important things. Once we get this online, I am going to pause this one until we build the power shaft right here, because we can run both of these off of this without any extra effort. And then we do need to work on getting rid of all of this. Anything that doesn't have a what is the next one? I'm gonna build another one of those so we can store some of that, and then when we run out of it, we can then fix that and kind of change it up a little bit to something that fits our needs just a little bit better. How many days we got? We got 10 days. 10 days. What is it times 3? Oh, maybe that's the blast radius. 1, 2. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not even going to try to explain this. Smarter people than I can understand that. All right, we need 1 plank. Come on, people. Like, work with me. Help me out here. I am going to pause you because at this point in time we don't need you, and then we don't need you because none of these trees are grown and active. I'm going to change these up because the next ones to probably be cut are going to be the oak trees. So we might as well make sure that that is what we're doing there. All right, then come back over here, get rid of those, these, this one, that one. I mean, we'll put blueberry bushes down eventually, but we aren't at the point where I need blueberries to be kind of the main problem. Oh, sweet. Okay, so let's play you, pause, and pause. And then I need this to be... Okay, we just need 2 more planks, which this should no doubtly be able to help. That gives us an extra beaver into the workforce, which I do like. And if we can get these trees grown... Oh my gosh, you're going the wrong way, my friend. Alright, let's continue. Oh, we got some more over here. I think we're gonna fill all these up. We can fit 2 more blueberry bushes in there at this point in time. How many do you have in there? You got 20 in there. I don't care at this point. Just get rid of all of them. And then we'll pause you. Now I need to see if you guys reach far enough, and you do, so we will... I am going to start to figure this out, and then we will probably end up planting some wheat here. And then I'll get the bigger, not the bigger, but I'll put the wheat in one of these medium-sized warehouses so we can deal with those. Alright. How are we doing? Excuse me. Alright, so demolish that. High priority. Let's get that taken care of, because now we have the pathway here, and then we can move over here to power. And eventually we'll probably end up putting a clutch there, because I think the clutch can disengage when power isn't needed. Let's go to this. And at this point in time, we can make this gears. Alright, sweet. Now we can do power and then hook that up. High priority that. And then I can play this. Once this is built, hopefully this happens the first, because it just needs a log, my friends. Just a log. Single log, nothing too fancy. Then, you know what, for the time being, I think sunflowers, because you can do more with them, I'm going to do sunflowers. And then I'm obviously going to block out the areas that don't grow. But yeah, getting sunflowers over here, that'll help. That'll definitely raise everybody's happiness level up just a smidgen. We haven't started building to that yet. That has power, so then we can destroy this. And then I want to recollect all this, because that will be useful for us. And then what are we waiting on? We're waiting on planks, so we should be good there. We got 2 extra beavers, which, I mean, once we have these built, we probably won't have those beavers, I would assume. Just because, yeah. And then, what do I do? For the time being, we're going to do a small warehouse. In the most efficient place possible. Which, I mean, right here we could put a double, but I don't want to put a double there just yet. You know what? Right there's fine. Sunflower seeds. Why? Because I don't even think we're growing anything on it to begin with, so this will be just fine. Alright, now we got this going. This should be beneficial to us. Let's see how much greenery we can expect. It might take him a minute to get all of this water in there, but... Sorry about that. But if we can get this whole thing green, look, like, that's going to be a lot of trees. You know, like, now we're getting away from this doesn't matter about what's happening in this. Okay, hold on. We are going to pause this because I need to rebuild this road. And I'm going to come in like this, delete that. And then what I want to do is... come in, do something like this, and then we have the single floodgates, and then just put 2 of them in like that. Yep, I'm okay with that. That'll work out relatively nicely, I believe. Obviously, once we get these 2 built, I made 2 of them there. I don't know if that was the best of moves, but we put 2 of them there. Hopefully we can start to develop some good Vuju there. Let's put that one there. Because why not, right? Like, it makes a little community. It's fine. I want to place this at a medium priority so we can at least get those going. How are we doing over here? I mean, not bad. Kind of sucks that it's so far away, but, you know, right now we don't really have a whole lot of options. We could definitely pin this down if we wanted to. The only problem is it's a high chance of injury, and we don't have injury retaining things at this current point in time. So that does present a slight problem. But once we get this built, obviously we're waiting on planks. And probably what I'm going to do in this valley until everything kind of sorts itself out is most likely end up putting birch and pine in here, just so at this point we would be able to then start farming this quite aggressively until this kind of starts kicking off in any capacity. But we are starting to build up a little bit, and that's kind of the main point of everything, is we are trying to do as much as humanly possible to get overall beaver happiness up and taken care of. Now, power problems, and then we'll put wheat down here. That'll be a nice big crop. What other foods can we grow down that we need? Right now, I don't see a problem with the carrots. We can probably put, I'd probably put wheat and sunflower seeds down here. That way this really kind of takes off. And then what I'm also going to do is we're going to put a staircase up here, because I think it'd be really cool to have eventually houses up here as well. And then we could probably like path across or whatever, build some sort of weird thing right there. And then over here I'm going to have like we're going to have a food production. At least some of our food production is going to be over there. All right. And then this I'm building just for the hope when a bad tide comes, at least we have this protected and we're still able to grow some of our trees and whatnot over here. Because I think at this current point in time, our biggest issue is trees. If I can get planks, I would prefer planks. I don't know exactly what we're building. I'll place this at a medium high priority because we got this, so this is going to give us more people. We have more beavers, good beavers. They need to have babies. We're kind of draining water to some degree in certain areas, but we do have our future plans planned out to some degree. And I just want to make sure that this reaches everything. What about right here? All right, right there's good. Because then that will reach this whole area, and then we can get beavers to then start growing a bunch of different foods and all of that, and then everybody can be happy at that point in time. But yeah, eventual goal would be to kind of block this up and then just kind of have it isolated to here. So then we could, or isolated to this area, and then we could stick bad water pumps on it somewhere or another, and then, I don't know, I don't know what we can do. But anyway, you get the idea to some degree. But yeah, I'm wanting to spread over here just because, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen with these, and we're trying to get as much done as humanly possible. You need planks. Yep, planks are a problem. Trees are a problem. Alright, 4 more planks in that one. But once the gears are taken care of and we have enough gears, then then this one will slow down, then we can pick this one up. Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna let these oaks kind of get a head start before we start cutting these things down. That will definitely help production, because at that point then we're getting a lot of logs, and it will be more than what they can deal with. Might be time for one more house. Possibly, maybe, potentially. Wait, hold on. Campfire. We can put a campfire right here. I'm gonna put this on a low priority, and then we'll come over here and build a house. Something like that. For now. And then I can also in the future put a house right here. No, I'd have to put it right there. So we'll delete that path, put a house there, and then that will be that. I don't know. Right now we're just flying by the seat of our pants. All right. Let's go. Birch on this side, and then we are going to go pine on this side, as well as right here, and I think that kind of covers everything. And then I'm going to do pine right here as well, leaving this spot open just in case we need another one. And then this is going to be for eventually a water pump. Or not a water pump, but a, you get it, a thing. Alright, I can play you, and I can play you. I don't think we're building a whole lot necessarily. We're building this, and that's kind of important, but we also have this coming, and we're going to need builders for that. For the time being, you guys aren't even doing anything. All right, we got 3 days. Like I said, I can't imagine that this is going to go up and over, but just in case, we will have this kind of affected, and we have a beaver over here, which means those two guys aren't doing anything. We have hopefully someone in here eventually. We might need to get... Hold on. Yes. Yes. House. Bing. And then we will do this. Alright, we can play now. Is that fully stocked? That is not fully stocked. Oh, so close. That would have been nice. We can pause you for the time being. Right now, I'd like to get these started so that we can have them growing and whatnot, because this is all right, but I want more. I need more. This is not conducive to a happy population. 2.4 days. Where did I end up putting the sunflower seeds? I ended up putting them somewhere. Didn't I? Oh, right here. Alright, so you are... There we go. And I'm happy with this because then if, like I said, we can get a regular stock of logs through this, and that will help everything go and be kind of bountiful. And then these ones don't take as, like these, the pine take a little bit, what is it? Trees. So 7 days we get 1 log, and then 12 days we get 2 logs. So we can cut all these down and then cut all those down and then cut all, you know what I mean? And then just kind of back and forth figure 8 style. And then this right now is helping us kind of really go large or go home type of situation. Obviously we're using a buttload of logs on this at this current point in time, but I don't think that that really matters all that much. I'm going to pause those. We got 4 workers in there. We are going to start gathering more science. Alright, this is starting to look so much better. I like the way this looks. I don't think we're going to get this built in the time that this is going to be destroyed, so we will probably have to prioritize what we're going to do, but it'd also be interesting to see how far the bad spreads, because like I said, we are going to have to come over up here and take care of this to some degree. Oh, that's not what I want. You walked all that way with 1 plank. Wow. Wow, wow. Alright. Haulers would definitely be useful. I don't really know. Wait. I'll let both, if we had both of you, I would let both of you work and fill this up, but we don't, so, oh, we have an injured beaver. In this, we have the science. Might as well put that there, because there's nowhere else this is going to fit. Oh, man. We all knew that that was going to happen. Like, we all knew that that was going to explode next. Cycle 3, we probably got a couple of days until the next cycle, or bad tide. I wouldn't expect it to be a bad tide, but you never know how those things go. And then once all this gets planted, we can get him back. Obviously, we have a buttload of beavers about to join the workforce. If we can get a couple of houses built, then we'd be in much better shape. We got an injured beaver. He should be able to heal up. Oh, poor Tank. I don't know what he got. Refuses to work. Oh, he got hurt that badly. Alright, well, you just stare out your little triangle window at the abyss over here and let me know when you feel better. Because we don't have enough jobs going on right now. But we are starting to really bounce back from all the logs, the log deficit and everything like that. The oaks are helping. I would like to get a second dude in here to kind of help cut down some of these trees because that's a lot of logs. Yeah, that could fill up this storage if we could cut all those down super fast. And that's kind of what we need at this current point in time. And then if we can get this built, then we can work on wheat and more sunflowers or more carrots. I don't know, but the main population is going to be wheat. I want a nice big wheat field. I want that to be taken care of and stocked so that we can work from there. This is going very good. I'm very happy with what we have on this so far. We might need to go up a couple of levels on that one. Yep, that'll work because then we cut down logs that go straight into here, straight into the build force. Life's good on that point. We're almost maxed out on gears and planks need a little bit of help, but we're also using a lot of planks, so gotta take the good with the bad. Okay, we got 0.2 days. Let's watch this thing go kaboomy and see what kind of danger and trouble we are in, because I can't imagine that this is going to be a positive experience for us. I can hope, but hope only gets you so far, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta see what kind of reality we're going to be dealing with for the foreseeable future. Alright, so all I need to know is that this is going to pass this way. And it does. Alright, I can deal with that. Alright, so we're going to come in here. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. Yeah, why not? Oh, that was genius. Genius, I tell you. Alright, high priority on that. I want that taking the utmost highest priority, and then we got another beaver injured. Where to put this medical bed, I don't know, but apparently we're going to need another one, so we might as well upgrade that priority as well. And then we'll get 4 more beavers into the workforce. If I can get one of these houses built, we should be a-okay in that regard. This isn't... It's killing trees. But it didn't kill a lot of trees. It killed a couple of trees, but that's not bad to the overall problem that is the bad tide over here. And then once we block that up, that will no longer be an issue. Yeah, that's not necessarily, I guess, a good thing to have, is a high population or a high whatever of medical problems, but I would assume it's coming from the gear workshop. Chance of injury, medium chance of injury, low chance of injury, medium, nope, and then medium. High chance of injury, yep. I wonder if there's a way that you can make your beavers, I guess, smarter, and the chance of hurting them is lower. All right, you both get out of there. We're okay with what we got. All right, now I have a chance to make another beaver cut over here, which is definitely going to improve a lot of problems that we are having. I mean, I guess the shortest route would have been right here, but since we're going to try to eventually come in here, this will work. I mean, I'm okay with that. Let's play one of those, get that job away. Yeah, just get tents up, because apparently we're having issues. Oh. We can put a small little storage thing right here. And we got all 4 pumpers in. That's not a bad way to go. Oh, we are sleeping. Let's look at automation. I finally figured out what those are used for, but we don't have the wonder planks yet. We don't have paper yet. This paper would be an interesting one to get. What does paper take? It takes 1 log, makes 2 paper, but we need a lot of gear. We need a lot of planks. Youcha mama. For the time being, we're going to move this out here, something like that, and then that way, and then we can come in here. Part of me's telling me I did this wrong. Yep. Alright, you want to see a completely jacked up thing? Yeah, we're going to do this. Because I'm scared if I go delete this and then have them try to build this way. Because we're going to move this staircase. But in order to move the staircase, I need them to be able to get down. And then we'll make this staircase go this way. And then we'll put the paper factory right there. And then we might delete one of these trees and then put the automation of a depth sensor. But we need metal first. But if we put the depth sensor right here, we can read the depth of this, turn that on and off, and then the same with this one. Alright, we can unlock these, which I'm going to go ahead and do. You are a long way off. And then we'll put a big storage over here because we got this over here, so we might as well. And then we will do that. And then eventually I'll move one over here as well so that we can get those going. There we go. I don't know why I keep pausing this stuff. And destroy that. And then move stairs like this. High priority that. All right, okay. And then once this goes away over here, then we'll be able to replant trees and then we'll be in a much better spot. We just got to get this last little one done, which is 12 measly logs. We got that in the bag in spades, and then we can work on everything else. And my dogs are about to bark, and I apologize. And then I'm going to come down like this and then build like that. But yeah, these beavers are probably like, what the heck is going on? Why are we building so many stairs in the same spot? I get it. I'm an idiot. You don't need to tell me more than once. Alright, oh, that's the path. There you go, built. That's done. Now we can work on this, which just needs 6 planks, which we have because we have so many extra logs that we are now cutting down and using. And because we don't have gears being worked on, I think we can pause you for some strange reason. Why not? But same time, there's really no point because all the jobs are filled. How are we doing on water? That's great. We can actually go to storage, unlock these. I want to get more logs before we start doing this, and then also wait for a bad tide, and then let some of this water kind of downplay, and then we'll build up a couple. We'll probably build up one over here, drain as many as it takes over here to fill this one up, and then put some put one right here. We can put 3, but it'll be slow because we obviously have to build everything up. Now, I'm just hoping that they can do this from above. I'm hoping they can build from above, so it makes sense that they can destroy from above. I'm hoping. And it doesn't look like some flowers are really lasting all that much in our quiet little world over here. Which, I mean, is either a good or a bad thing. I'm not really quite sure at this moment in time. But we'll put a pathway to the front of this so we can they can choose to walk on this, I guess. And then at this point, then we can come into the food area. And then if we wanted to, we could unlock this. I think we should. And then that way, actually, well, it would still take away that. You know what? We'll put it there. Yes. And then we will, because I don't know if we'll ever need to come up over here, and I don't know how far this reaches. So, for all intents and purposes, we're still able to get everything that we need. I'll let that be built. That'll be a nice little addition to all the food we can get. What are we building? Are we destroying that yet? I don't think we are. And we might actually have to like dig down in there to actually get that. That doesn't have anything. All right. I'm okay with them working on this first, and then we will move over here to this so we can at least get this crop going. We might have to build another farmhouse over here somewhere. Alright, we got that done. Let's destroy that. Yes, for all the complications that this is giving us. Yes. And then, if I remember correctly, which I hope I am, unlock, yes. And it fits perfectly right there. And then once the pathway comes in, then we can do this. Actually, I'm going to do it this way so it doesn't look as weird down here. We're going to let those grow out. I do want to get this farmhouse going, and then I might... Excuse me. Let's get these two houses going, and then the two farmhouses going, and kind of see where that puts us at. Because we are safe over here. We are able to grow the trees again. He's growing those trees. Once this gets fully spread out, because it's not going to take us any time to actually cut those down. And at this point in time, I might as well play him. Make sure we're getting water in there. How are we doing over here? Okay, this needs to be built. We need the planks to cover this up. We have the logs, we have the planks. Everybody's happy there. All right, good deal. And then this needs gear. Oh my gosh, I had to deplete our planks. Holy cow. But once that does, then we'll be able to have paper, and I don't know what paper we're going to do, but it will help us unlock a few of these. I think, maybe. The resource one would be useful. We'll get this one. Not yet. And then the power meter or the, oh, we need the treated planks. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait on the treated planks because I need the tapper shack, and then I also need this thing. And obviously that's a lot, so we still need to grow up our working force area, and this one is looking like it's going to help eventually. We just need to get the beaver power. Alright, we're going to go into a little bit faster time speed so I can hopefully build this up. There we go. And then we can lower that all down. So that stays up high, and then that'll protect us during a bad tide. We're going to go with this one first because it has 2 beavers, and then I'm going to place that at a higher priority, and then we're going to place this at a medium priority. 10 and 30, that should be fine. We have more than enough. Like I said, I'd rather be behind the 8-ball on this one than in front of it. Alright, we're able to get to everything. We just need him to plant everything. And then, obviously, we're growing, so I'd rather these grow, and then all the trees be planted, so then when I do play this, he's just going behind everybody and fixing all the situations that we have wrong. Alright, so we have beavers taking a break, and for whatever reason I will block this up, so at least we have that. Great. Now let's come over here and let's get some spatter dock. Something like that. And that should work. So then we'll have spatter dock over here. I should be able to collect it. Oh, I was going to put a thingy over here. I can put one right there. Storage. Let's flip that. And that will be agua. Actually, we have the beavers to supply this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some wheat. I want to see how much this looks like. Yeah, and then we'll put a water storage tank right there. Alright, that doesn't look half bad. And then just go with me on this. I know this is going to be such a dork move, but look at that. It'll look cool. Eventually it'll look cool. And then we'll put potatoes over here. We'll put some carrots over here. And then we can put some sunflowers over here. And then they can get to all of that. Alright, don't tell me that doesn't look cool. Like, we have a nice little border. It would have been cool if we did it on this side as well. And just had a nice little border. And maybe we'll do that eventually. But for right now, it looks cool and it's functional. Like, it works. Alright, so for everybody's got a job. I like it. Alright, so what I need is we need another food processing person. We need another grill. I'm gonna flip this one. And then we have carrots right here that's empty at this point in time. That one's kind of a little low. So what I'm and we have sunflowers. How full is this? It's pretty full. And what I'm suggesting for the time being is recipe. You're going to do grilled spatterdock. And how we're going to do this is I'm going to put you there. You're going to be grilled spatterdock. And then right next to this one, actually we'll do it like this. This is going to be, where is it? Spatterdock and spatterdock. Pause this. Something like that. And then we can come over here. And we can put a nice little storage thing right here. Because we'll draw carrots, we'll have potatoes. I think this is potatoes. So if we came over here, we might want to rotate this one and then go grilled potatoes. Because that's grilled spatterdock, right? Yep. And then I'm going to want one more warehouse for the time being to be wheat. Yes. Because we're going to need a couple of different things. And then I'm okay with waiting on the wheat. So we have the wheat going. That's fine. And I am going to play one of those. So at least we have the hopes and prayers of that. Play, 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 play. And then, hold on. We are going to destroy these four. Yes. And then storage is going to be water. And yeah, that'll be okay for now. Holy cow, look at that. That is quite the forest we have growing here. Alright, so we need houses like a fat kid needs cake. And oops, at this current point in time, we can pause you because there's nothing more than you need to do over here. We don't need that yet because we don't have, and we don't need you yet because you planted all that you need to plant. And then we can open that up. Then are you making paper? You are making paper. That is cool. Alright, so we're making paper, we're having logs. At this point in time, I just need more people, or more beavers actually, and then we will be playing with some dangerous fire. Oh, and we got the science. Sweet. Oh, we got both sciences. Alright, so we are getting... I will like this one, and we have the paper to do it. What about the weather one? I need the wonder planks. What about a depth sensor? We could do a depth sensor. But at this point in time, I would think... How much power does this need? 200. And 4 beavers work in it, which is pretty much what we got going on right now. So, it might be in our best interest to get this going. And then power, because we can build one of those. And have this be like a windmill plateau. We'll do something like that. Get the foundation set up. And then we can build a windmill down here. And then obviously when we do the power, we're going to need the vertical shafts and not the clutches, but the clutches will come in useful in a minute. But for the time being, we kind of need to get our population going, hopefully bouncing up a little bit. We got 3 extra jobs. I want to say another house would be fantastic. And then we can go to decorations. Does that do anything? It does do something, so... Wait, no. I want to make sure that this is hanging off the right part. Yes. And there we go. Alright, so... we have this filled up. That's nice. I'm going to exit out this one and exit out this one. Exit that one. And exit that one. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to delete all of that. And B for duplicate. And rotate that this way. Dang, this is wonderful. I love it so much, and we're about to have so much over here. Okay, come on. Tell me that doesn't look cool. That looks kind of cool. And then when we build up the whatever, like having this up here, that'd look cool too. Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. So, yeah, and then once we get enough of these this stuff, then we can pause that and then go do something else. And we might even just be able to put like a tapper shack. Well, we put the logs there, so that kind of sucks. So we'd have to really cut it down a lot, or we could get rid of this. And 1, 2, 3, we could do something like that. Oh, how much power? I totally forgot this. Okay, so we still have 100 we can put on this. Because I know they're a pain in the butt, and I know we have a problem with it later on. Watch this. Bam. I'm going to put another one of those right there. And then what I'm going to do is come over here, put this big one right here, and we're going to do planks. See how that works? And then we can have the power up here, the windmills up here, and then once the windmills are up here, then we can have power drop down over here and give them power, and we can have power come over here. Either way, everything's connected, and so excess isn't like, you know, we're using everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have everything taken care of. I like the way that's shaping up. Ship shaping up. All right. So the only thing I think that we need to fix, ouch mama, at this point we're going to do this, because I'm not even sure what we're going to be doing with this area. I mean, adding another one might be useful, but we got 3 of these suckers. So if we fill this up, we'll have 900 things of water. We are in a fabulous spot. We might need one more to be built, but I can hold my breath on that one. Right now it's the population. I never thought I'd have a problem with the population, but beggars can't be choosers, so it is what it is. If you like this episode, if you like this series, leave a thumbs up. I do appreciate it. This will, it might move spots eventually, but for right now it's going to be my Saturday video instead of streaming, because right now my life's a little chaotic. So I wanted to give you guys something, and this is kind of what we thought of, or yeah, we thought of this. Anyway, leave a like, think about a comment, something like that, how you like the new update. And yeah, think about subscribing if you haven't, and if you have, hit that little notification bell, because it will let you know when videos drop, and so you're able to watch it and experience it and the full effect of everything that watching videos gives you. Until then, I will catch you next time. Later.